Welcome to The Tech Ranch, live and local here on Super Talk 1270. The latest gadgets, online security, websites and apps, social media, and so much more. How can technology help you? Let's find out. It's time for The Tech Ranch on Super Talk 1270.
From our studios in beautiful Mandan, North Dakota, along the mighty Missouri River, here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And I'm here live at the Work in Progress here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're wrapping up CES. Actually got a little sleep the last evening here, so we're able to actually see my notes and everything else. Welcome to the Tech Ranch, everybody. Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, Jim Walsh. How you doing, man?
Don't let me hear you say life's taking you nowhere. Hey, Joe!
I've been getting around a little bit, haven't I?
Yeah.
How's the weather back home, by the way?
Cold and snowy, and, it's your basic January, which is to say a cold gray bucket of suck.
You know, it's kind of the same here.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Optimism here, aren't I?
Yeah. It's been cold, rainy, foggy. They even closed the airport down for a day coming during CES.
In Vegas?
Of the fog, which is amazing for here.
Yeah, how are the winters in Vegas? I always kind of assume, I think most people assume that it's the Southwest, so it's kind of like California weather, or is it?
Well, it's probably about 50 today, and
That's not bad.
It gets down to about freezing overnight. There's some areas that drop a little bit below freezing, but in that neighborhood right now.
Don't bother me none.
No, it's nice, for you and I that who are used to the cold. It's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, I'll never get used to the cold.
Well, anyway, we have a full schedule today. We're really going to get into a lot of things that we covered at CES. And sitting next to me here, we're at Work in Progress again, which is a co-working space in Las Vegas. Absolutely love this place, by the way. So if you ever need a place to get to in Vegas to do a little work or whatever, it's a co-working space, and they have daily rates as well as monthly. So it's a great place to come and just kind of hang out and get a little work done. But sitting next to me is Ann Perrone. She is with Trike Las Vegas. How you doing, Ann?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great, yeah, just a little closer to the mic.
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Yeah, so you attended CES as well.
Yes, I did.
And tell me a little bit about your impression of CES this year.
Well, this will be my fourth year going to CES, and each year is a little bit of a different experience, of course. I got a lot out of the CES, made some great connections, saw some very good products for me personally and for my business.
Okay.
And all in all, I actually had a very enjoyable time.
So why don't you tell us, just a real quick synopsis of Trike?
Sure. Well, Trike is a three-wheel carving vehicle. They started about 14 years ago with body-powered vehicles for full-body fitness. And 7 years ago, they electrified, which put us in the transportation business. And what's nice about their vehicle is that because they started with the body-powered, their electric vehicles can be ridden with just your body as well, so you can still get the fitness benefits.
Okay.
But they fold up. They're three wheels, handlebars, ride it very much like you would a motorcycle or scooter. It has a throttle. And what's nice is that they carve, so they take turns very easily. And I'm a big fan of the product. Been with them for quite a while now.
Yes, you have, actually. You were in L.A. with them. Mm-hmm. How long have you been with Trike?
8 to 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and here for 4 years.
4 years here, yeah.
That's fantastic. So, you were thinking that you would go to CES this year and maybe find some enhancements to your business?
Well, I never I'm not, I always just have an open mind when I go to CES because it's such a diverse place. And it's just nice to let things happen organically and just kind of run into people and products and things that you wouldn't necessarily have expected to see.
Sure. So what stands out to you this year?
Gosh, there's so much virtual. There was so much just not needing to leave your home anymore, which was a little concerning, actually. But there was a few products that I really liked. I liked the sort of the ring security system. A big fan of what's going on there and being able to connect with your cell phone with what's going on at your home.
Sure.
And I actually plan to incorporate that into our business, so taking it outside the house. A lot of the there was a lot of personal transportation, which of course was very interesting to us and
Sure.
what we're doing. And it's interesting to see that sort of progress. We were exhibitors at CES a couple of years ago, and back then there wasn't very much in the personal transportation. And now, they have the wheels and the hoverboards,
Right.
and you name it. Every year there's some new product coming out that some guy's in his garage right now working on. So
I'm going to have to pull up my archives because I actually interviewed you guys a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, it'll be funny to see that, actually. But,
Okay.
isn't it funny how things happen sometimes?
Absolutely. It was probably the CEO who is there, John Simpson.
Yeah, I believe that's who it was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. So, did you feel, not to get into the security aspect of CES this year, but did you feel that was a hindrance or did it give you a little peace of mind?
I didn't think about it either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just went through the security check-in and that was it?
Went through, yeah,
Okay.
It was easy, and I appreciate them being there.
Yeah. They were certainly in full force this year.
Mm-hmm.
And, there was certainly security presence. Almost everywhere you turn, there was something going on, whether there was, protecting the doors or dogs walking around or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see the dogs. I didn't feel that it was intrusive in any way. I just seems to be becoming more of the norm.
Sure. It was just, I was really curious to see how, having 175,000 people attend an event, how that would impact, security would impact that.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Outside of a few minor things that happened here and there, I think it went off without a hitch.
Yeah, I never was waiting in any lines to get in or anything like that.
Yep.
But that could have also just been my timing.
Yep. All right, everybody, after the break, we'll continue our conversation with Ann Perrone with Trike and a synopsis of CES. So come on back.
Right now, 21.
The Jim Bohannon Show is here. Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek at Facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or TheTechRanch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And welcome back, everybody. We want to thank all those who listen to the program across the country and around the world on the Blueberry Network, on the Tech Podcast Network. If it's here, we're on the Roku, iTunes, LinkedIn, Radio Pup, and on Blast. All kinds of places right now. Of course, we're leading the program off today with a little David Bowie, some sad news overnight about his passing. And one of the things with Bowie, whether you liked him or not, he was always kind of a cutting-edge type of person and liked to use technology. So we thought it was pretty appropriate today to throw him in there. Thank you, Jim, for doing that.
Absolutely.
And sitting next to me, Ann Perrone. Ann is with Trike Las Vegas. We're talking a little bit about CES and the things that we had found. So, Ann, we cover a lot in the autonomous vehicle range. I know you're in the personal vehicle range, but
Mm-hmm.
have you been following the trend towards autonomous vehicles as well?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we saw at the show was a drone that will carry a person. Did you see this?
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I saw lots of drone activity.
Yeah, of course, drones are kind of coming of age, as is the idea of autonomous ground vehicles as well. And we'll get into the autonomous vehicles a little later in the show. But since we're talking about transportation, I thought the drone concept for transportation was interesting. And basically, it was a pod that you sit in, and it had 4 props. And so think of a drone that would be carrying something underneath it, whether it would be a package from Amazon or whatever. Okay, just take that to a much larger premise where it's carrying a person. And the reason that they don't call it a helicopter, which is, I think, the first thing everybody thought about, is that it's 4 props up there, is that you drive it with your smart device.
Wow.
So absolutely amazing. Jim, did you get a chance to see that? He's not responding. He's got his microphone turned off.
What I did appreciate was the tracking, the drone, where you wore the helmet. I saw that.
Okay.
And they had the tracking.
Right.
And that we will be incorporating in our tours business. So,
Interesting.
So the tour guide would essentially wear the helmet with the tracking, and the drone would follow our tour, and then we could provide the video to our tour guests.
Well, now, isn't that an interesting idea?
Mm-hmm.
So do you offer any type of video right now for people who
We've been playing around with, GoPro and that sort of a thing, but once we started to hear about this drone technology, that's where we'd really like to focus our time and energy on.
Interesting. So yeah, you and I are going to have to talk after the show a little bit. I think we could probably even help you with that. But anyway,
fantastic.
I think that's a great idea, actually. So a lot of fun. So anything else that really stands out to you about the show this year?
Again, my big takeaway was just how much entertainment you could gain through technology without really ever needing to leave the comfort of your own home. So I think it was at Samsung that had the it's almost like a roller coaster ride.
Okay.
And you'd wear the goggles.
Right.
And the seats were moving.
Right.
And I just thought, wow, we won't even need to go to Disneyland anymore. We'll just put on our goggles and have the experience we want for the day. So it's kind of interesting to me.
Do you think that people will actually opt out of going on trips and things if they have the virtual experience at home?
I doubt it, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact that it does have. But I mean, obviously, we're talking. There is a hassle element of going to some place like Disneyland and the crowds, and by the time you're done, depending on your day and your experience, maybe you only got 5 rides, 10 rides, and you've spent all this money. So it'll be interesting. I think it might transform some elements of entertainment.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I doubt it. It would be interesting though.
Yep. A couple things about Brian talking here on Blab. He's asking to see if we'll be the first ones to ride in the new drones. Maybe not, Brian. And, of course, the big thing with the virtual experiences is we won't have to wait in lines, just like you're stating. So, I think it's interesting. It'll probably take gaming to a whole nother level. And that's where I see that going, actually.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, anything else that you can think of that?
Not really. I mean, I found it interesting that Uber was offering helicopter rides.
Oh, Uber was?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
So you could do I don't know all the details, but Uber was doing free Wi-Fi in the cars and also doing helicopter rides as well as cars. So I found that interesting.
So do you use Uber?
Well, we promote Uber.
Okay.
So, we have a code, and if a new user hasn't if there's a new rider, they can use our promotion code and get a free ride.
Okay.
And we're very familiar with Uber. We appreciate and are really happy that they're here in Vegas.
Sure.
So absolutely.
We used Lyft a couple times during the week. I was impressed. I have to tell you, I was very, very impressed. Haven't used Uber yet.
Sure.
But we will do that while we're here during the rest of the week.
I have used Uber, and I had an excellent experience.
Good.
Excellent.
Good. Fantastic to hear. So, and with that, we really appreciate you being on the show today. And if you get down to Vegas sometime or L.A. or whatever, make sure you stop by Trike and check out their personal vehicles.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're at the Container Park, so we would love to meet up with anybody that's interested in seeing what we do firsthand.
That would be great. All right, thanks, Ann. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
And we're going to make it just a little change here and put Veronica in the hot seat. We had a lot of great experiences at CES this year. One of the things that I thought was interesting is the amount of musical instruments that are coming out. You probably don't think about using technology to develop a new instrument, but that's kind of what's going on. There's a couple companies, one called Roly, and it's a keyboard-like device that kind of reminds me of, it's like a keyboard, but what it reminds me of is a trombone where there's not really any set place with the slider. They can do that on this keyboard, make unique sounds and that type of thing. It'll be interesting to see if companies or if bands or whatever start utilizing those type of things in the future. Sitting next to me now, she's no stranger to this program, by the way, Veronica Hoffman. Veronica, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Hey, you're welcome, and appreciate you being on the Tech Ranch again. Veronica, of course, is with Work in Progress here, and we haven't had an update on some of the new technology that's coming out of Work in Progress right now. So why don't you update us a little bit about maybe some of the emerging things that are happening here?
Okay, well, I know the last time that I was on the podcast. I talked more about like the amenities, but since then we have a little virtual reality happening in here compared to last time.
Okay.
We have a little more hardware. I'm not quite sure what's being built, but I just see it all over the desks. We have a few bankers that are coming in for whatever reason, and they're just coming into the co-working space and doing a little more work downtown. And we also have a lot of events companies that are inquiring. So I'm wondering if all of the changes that are happening in Las Vegas is like having different types of events companies and things like that gravitating to the space.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So what do you know about the virtual reality company that's locating here?
I don't know very much other than I witness them using the Oculus Rift all the time.
Okay.
And I know that I believe he's mentoring someone, so there's a younger person, I don't want to say high school or entering college age, but he's doing a lot of like coding aspect stuff to the right, and then they put the Oculus Rift on and they just paint away, and they're just working with it. So I'm not quite sure if there's a company behind it or it's just a hobbyist and looking to fine-tune or do anything with Oculus Rift specifically.
Interesting. So why don't you tell everybody again about your co-working space here with a couple of minutes before the end of the hour.
All right.
Yeah.
So Work in Progress is just a predominantly tech-based co-working space that's here in downtown Las Vegas. We've been around for a little over 2 years now, and we offer a lot of different amenities for membership here, from just a very convenient location downtown if you're trying to do business. If you are very early in the entrepreneurial game, if you are trying to start a business, if you have a lot of questions but don't know necessarily who to get answers from, we have a great mentor program that we have a bunch of mentors that volunteer their time and let our members as well as the general public come and pretty much pick their brains, ask about marketing, retail, sales, anything that you can think of, as well as just being a 24/7 facility. Las Vegas is a 24/7 town. I know that a lot of different people of different industries put in a lot of long hours. So if you have a bit of insomnia, if you're the type of person that works well and you're a night owl, we are a space that's definitely available for all different types of people and the way they work.
And, of course, if you're traveling here as well, you have daily and weekly passes too, don't you?
We do have daily. We can work out weekly ones.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of like, buy this many day passes, we'll throw in a free one type of deal. Our day passes are $25 a piece, and they aren't limited to, if you come in and you won't have to leave during business hours once we close. If you get in at 3 p.m. and you want to work until 3 in the morning, that is totally doable with us.
Okay, that's fantastic. And around here, of course, our internet at our hotel runs $20 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So to have a place that you can actually go work and collaborate and have all the amenities that you have here, it's a great deal. It really is. And of course, if you hang out at a coffee shop, you'll spend $40 in coffee by the time you're done there. So
this is very true. We keep the lifeblood of the lifeblood of the co-working space is coffee. We understand.
That's
keep it flowing.
And you do. That's for sure. That's for sure. So we really appreciate the fact that you allow us to come in here and host our show every time we're down here, so it's fantastic as well. So any news out of CES that you heard over the last week?
Any news that I heard about CES? I know I was chatting with Ann before, and she told me a lot about there's a lot more virtual reality that I heard a lot of people were really impressed by, as well as certain things not impressed, like the wearability of it.
Sure.
I heard a lot of people that were trying to pioneer new things, as well as you don't need to fix something that's not necessarily broken.
Sure, and you do get a lot of that. All right, with that, so thank you, Veronica, for being on the show. After the break, everybody, Miss Metaverse Katie Aquino will be joining us, and we'll be going over the gadgets that we found at CES. So come on back.
Right now, 21.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And welcome back, everybody. We are broadcasting live from Work in Progress in Las Vegas. Of course, we have Brian Reinbold in the lab, greeting people in there. He's out of the Chicago area. Jim's back in the office in Mandan. And joining us from the New York area, Miss Metaverse herself, Katie Aquino. How are you doing today, Katie?
I'm doing well, Marla. How are you doing?
Doing okay, too. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. And I know that you were somewhere really awesome recently.
Yeah, it's been it was pretty awesome here. It's been I can't say I've actually been able to enjoy the town too much because we've been running from 6 in the morning to midnight or later every day for the last week. We've had a lot of coverage that we put together, and you'll be seeing a lot of that footage over the next couple of weeks as we get it edited and back out. So excited to get that out to everybody. So what has your take been from CES from where you're at?
Wow. Well, there's been so many news stories and sensational things happening. I mean,
so
it was
anything that has maybe stuck out to you that really was like, wow, it's amazing that this is happening.
Absolutely. I mean, there was so much happening. One of the things that I'd like to start off with would be the 184 drone by EHang.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so tell me about it.
Okay, it's there's a company called EHang, and they're from China. And what they did was they made what's called an AAV, which is an autonomous aerial vehicle drone, and it's a prototype that is allowing people to fly in a drone. So it's actually big enough to carry human passengers. How cool is that?
I will take that back. I did see this, actually, so I apologize. I just didn't know the name of the company. But, yeah, and what's unique about it is that they're not classifying it as a helicopter because you fly it with your smart device. So your iPhone or your Android is actually how you fly it.
Yes, absolutely. And it's all electric, and it's fully autonomous, so you don't have to fly. It flies itself. And also, I mean, there's a lot of really cool specs about it. It can carry a single passenger up to 10 miles or roughly 23 minutes of flight. And what's really cool about it is that the 184, which is the name of this prototype, has a fail-safe system. So it takes over in the event of any malfunction, and passengers can get the drone to stop and hover in place if needed.
What happens at, okay, so Brian's stating that it cruises at 11,000 feet at 62 miles an hour. That's pretty amazing in itself. I don't think most people flying themselves in a drone will probably get over a couple hundred feet. Just saying, Brian. But it is interesting. 62 miles an hour, I mean, you can get yourself around town pretty quick in this. Absolutely.
The CEO of the company, his name is Wazi Hu, and he designed the drone a couple of years ago because two of his pilot friends were killed in plane crashes. So that inspired him to design something that was this form of short, medium distance personal air transport. So, people won't need to have pilot's license anymore, and it takes the danger out of this low altitude flight.
So is there has there been any talk yet about what this is going to cost?
There's no price points that I've seen yet. They're really early in the prototype phase right now.
Have they actually tested the vehicle?
Well, that's another thing, too. I know it slightly went up in the air, but because of all the regulations and everything, there's no way they're going to be able to fly this thing in American airspace anytime soon.
Interesting. So they'll be testing it in Europe or Canada or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
So because it flies autonomously, I'm going to guess that they can put a crash test dummy in it to start.
They should. I mean, it has flown, and it does work. That's the thing. It's just that with all the regulations and everything, they couldn't do a test flight at CES, unfortunately.
Right. Well, of course, I had the opportunity to go to the drone rodeo, and it was interesting because when we were out there, it was at the Clark County shooting range, and so I was out of town a little ways, and we got out there, and it was a miserable day for Las Vegas terms. In fact, while we were out there, it almost felt like it was going to start snowing, and it was kind of a rainy, foggy type of day. So not a lot of people showed up. So we had access to a lot of different things, and there's a couple things that really stood out. In fact, there's three when I think about it. The first one was paper airplane drones. I'm going to say that again: paper airplane drones. So,
oh wow!
You could take a piece of paper, you can fold it up like a paper airplane. You attach this little device to it. It syncs up to your Android or your iPhone, and then you fly it like a drone.
cool.
I think for kids, and I shouldn't say just kids, of course. We were all excited about it here at the show too. We all want to fly one of these things. It's a pretty cool deal. But I think for children especially, they can have one of these and they fly it with their smartphone. And now they're coming out with another one that works with Google Cardboard. Are you familiar with Google Cardboard?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so basically how this will work, runs a couple dollars more for this one, but you can make bigger paper airplanes out of this, and then you put your smart device in Google Cardboard so you have that virtual reality type of experience with the app, and wherever you turn your head is where your paper airplane will fly. And they got a little camera on the front of this thing, so it's a very, very cool thing. It's by Power Up Toys, and we're going to be getting a few of these things in to play around and test, so we'll let everybody know about that. The other thing that we really found, that I found was absolutely fascinating, is Aerial Sports League. And if you're on Blab, I'm showing the car right now. And basically what this is, it's an emerging sport. And it's amazing how fast this is popped up. It's drone racing. So they have these courses. Katie, I'm betting you probably even attended some of these already. But in the last year, I was talking to the chairman and the founder of the league, and they've gone from drones that fly about 70 miles an hour to drones that fly around 100 miles an hour just in less than a year. Now, they all have the same specs. They're just out there with their 3D printers and everything else, redesigning their props a little bit, lightening the load wherever they can, and it's absolutely amazing. And what I really find fascinating with this is that in 2 months, they actually have a competition that the purse is over $1 million. So I think this is an emerging sport that I think more and more people are going to be getting involved with, and I just think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many coming out now.
So the last thing, go ahead. Yes, it is. And I just think that, for those million people that got new drones over Christmas, this might be one of the things that they can do is get into the local aerial sports league. And they take people from all skill levels from 4 years old on up. I mean, it's just amazing. So it's a great way to safely learn how to fly your drone. And then if you want to move on a little bit, you can get into, the racing and that type of thing. So I think it's a pretty cool deal what they got going on. The last one that I looked at out there was one called, and it's not developed by Spark Aerial, but they were demonstrating this, and it's a headset, so just like what we're all wearing right now, a headset, but at the top of the band, right up in, where it goes over the middle part of your head, where I have no hair right there, I guess. It's teasing me, Brian. Anyway, in that space, they have ocular lenses. So you bring this down over your eyes, and then you can see, let's say you can use it to watch a movie, you can do whatever with this. You can sync it to your Droid, to your iPhone, whatever, and do those types of things. What they had done is they had synced it to a Phantom 3. Actually, I take that back. I think it was an Inspire, which is a DJI drone. And they were flying it around, and I was running the camera and the gimbal with this headset. So wherever I looked is where the camera would turn. And so if it was up 100 feet in the air, I could look down at the ground, I could look up into the sky, I could look behind, I was running the entire camera, and it was projecting the telemetry back to me. And all I could think about is people who are, adjusters for insurance. You won't have to go up on a roof anymore because you can see, you can zoom in, you can do all this stuff, and all this is being run out of a headset. Absolutely amazing.
That is amazing.
So anyway, and people, if you want to check that out, Spark Aerial was the one, it's SPARK, Spark Aerial, that had that up there. So, Katie, what else did you see coming out of CES?
Okay, so what I was really excited about, and this is something I spoke about months and months ago, and that was, I think I originally talked about Nixie. So what these are self-flying camera drones. And unlike the camera drones you could buy today, where, you could just stick like a small SLR or, a GoPro onto a drone, something lightweight, right? Because they have to be lightweight. And that's how people are doing drone photography, unless you're, having someone custom build you one for like a big studio shoot or something. But, this is the future, and it's so exciting. There's 3 big companies that are coming out of the woodworks now, and they're all creating these little camera drones that are super lightweight, and you're going to be able to do things like throw it into the air, and the cameras will follow you. So the first one I have on my list here is Lily Camera. Have you heard of Lily Camera?
I have heard of them. Isn't it the one that is the drone that wraps around your wrist?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it is. I don't think it wraps around your wrist. I think that might be Nixie. Not sure.
Okay.
But they are so similar. It's amazing, though. LilyCam is a camera drone, and it weighs 2.8 pounds, so it's really lightweight, and it's slightly bigger than the palm of your hand. It features 20 minutes of flight time, and it only takes 2 hours to charge it, and it flies between 5 and 50 feet, which is really cool.
And it just follows you around.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, if you are
Katie, I'm going to stop you right there. We got to get to our break. After the break, everybody, Katie and I will continue our discussion on the things we found at CES. So come on back.
Right now, 23.
The home for ABC News at the top of the hour is Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And Jim, we're going to let this play for just a couple minutes in honor of Mr. David Bowie.
Still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace.
Turn your mic back on for a little bit.
I'm here.
All right.
Hey, I'm here.
I want to wish you a belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
At my age, I try not to think about my damn birthday, but nonetheless, I appreciate the sentiment.
To go out and do anything special?
Not really. I decided to lay low for the weekend because the weather, as you know, was pretty horrible. Plus, my wife had to work, so she took the car. I told her, you take the car, I'll sleep in.
There you go.
And that's what I did for my birthday, is I caught up on my sleep, which to me is exactly what I wanted.
Sure. Well, perfect. Well, again, happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you.
Glad that you're part of the Tech Ranch, and hope that we have many more years of doing this.
I certainly hope so.
All right. And coming up, in fact, oh my goodness, speaking of, this is actually our anniversary, too. I just realized that. This is, next week will be this is the end of 4 years today of the Tech Ranch.
So we're going to play the anniversary waltz or what?
Well, I think we'll maybe do that next week.
Oh, how we danced on the...
I just realized that. I didn't realize that those 2 days were so close to each other. But anyway, now I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's get back to the show. Katie, what else did you see coming out of CES?
Yes, we're talking about self-flying camera drones. And we left off talking about the Lily camera, which, just to wrap that up, you could pre-order one of the Lily cameras for $819, and their website is lily.camera. And what's really neat about that is that, unlike the other ones out there, it shoots at 120 frames per second in 720p, which is good for YouTube. And the Lily Cam has raised over $34 million in pre-orders. That's insane.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And I think Brian had stated that they have 60,000 orders. That's Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yep.
Very
so
cool.
moving on to the next one, the Hero Plus. Have you heard of that?
No.
All right, the Hero Plus it's an intelligent drone that works with an app to fly cameras like a GoPro on it. But what's really cool is that, the biggest feature with this is the smartphone. And instead of having to have, a big gear that I guess some of the other drones you have, I mean, it's not that much gear anyway, but if you just like that convenience of having a drone connected to your smartphone via app, then you should definitely check out the Hero Plus, which is heroplus.com, and it costs about $13.49, it says on the website.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Almost, I won't say all drone activity coming out of CES, but there was certainly a lot of buzz about drones. So anything else other than drones that we should be getting to?
Yes, everybody's talking about ILI, and I'm sure you've heard about it.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about it, though.
Yep, ILI, which is ILI, it's the first real-time wearable translator. And this is really ideal for people who are traveling, whether for business or for pleasure. There's really a lot of cool things about this. It's so simple. That's the best part about it. It's like this small, like Apple TV-sized remote. And it's just a small device that you speak into it when you just hold down a button, and it translates for you in real time in other languages. And
how many languages is it supporting right now?
Only a few. I don't really know off the top of my head how many languages, but I remember reading that they're going to be adding more languages soon because they only had a couple.
This is almost like Star Trek type of stuff where we're going to be wearing some type of jewelry, like they call the comm badge or whatever in Star Trek, or whatever it will be in the future, that will perform a lot of these tasks for us, including the translation of languages.
Yes, exactly. And what's best about this too is it doesn't have to connect to the internet or Wi-Fi.
Yeah, everything is self-stored, which is very interesting. So unlike Google Translator, like you were talking about, where it has to have that connection, this is all self-contained, which is absolutely amazing.
It is, really is.
And the other unique thing about that, of course, is because it doesn't have that, it's not dependent on the internet connection. It works dramatically faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's when you're traveling and you might get lost or you're in another country, it's scary. And being able to have this without having to be online or rely on a Wi-Fi connection is great.
So yeah, that's a great find. We have, how about 3D photography? You see any of this?
I have not. I don't believe I have. Maybe I have.
So it's from a company called Matter and Form, and actually a very, very popular company. They had a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo a few years ago about 3D scanning. And the reason they came a little bit popular is that, unfortunately, they did get their units out eventually, but it took a lot longer on the research and development side. They said it was going to take 6 months, and of course it took a year and a half before they could deliver this product. So they were under the gun, so to speak, for a little while trying to get that stuff out. But they've come out now with a device that you can hook up to your phone, and it'll actually do a 3D photograph by using lasers. Yes, the infamous lasers. And it'll laser map a person or an object or whatever and create a 3D photograph that then goes around the object or the person or whatever, so you can spin the photograph however you want. Absolutely amazing. And they're thinking they're going to come out with this device for under $79.
Wow.
So, and it just hooks up to your smartphone. You use the app, and I don't know so much about taking photographs of people and how they're going to feel about standing there for 30 seconds or whatever to take a 3D photograph of them. But I certainly see it with anything that's going to be put online for marketing purposes. So I think it'll actually change the way we look at things in the future online, because this is going to be a very, very easy thing to do and very cost effective.
Yes, absolutely. It's all the cost of everything is going down, which is great.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's next on your list?
I'd have, to change it up a little bit, I guess I would have to bring up the LG foldable screen. Did you see that one?
I didn't, but I did hear about it.
Yeah, so at C.E.S. this year, LG revealed their roll-up flexible screen that might just be the future of televisions. That's what they're saying. What's really neat is that these bendable TVs, they kind of look like photo books. I mean, that's how it was presented. It was presented as like a photo book. Yeah. And they said that these screens, we'll be able to save a lot of room that we lose, when we're mounting TVs or having to put up like a heavy mount or the TV cabinets. So right now they have an 18-inch roll-up screen that had a resolution of 1,200 by 810 pixels. And they said they're going to be aiming for screens that are 55 inches and beyond and will be able to produce a 4K quality, which will be 4 times more than HD.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, we have seen prototypes the last couple of years. The whole story behind this is a doctor was swimming in the ocean one time. This goes back a couple of years, and was stung by a jellyfish. But noticed the luminosity coming off of a jellyfish, and was like, how do they do this? So they started to investigate this, and that's why we are getting to the point where we have foldable, rollable type of screens. So even our LCDs, LED televisions, like you're talking about, screens that we use on our computers, I see a day where you have a screen in your pocket, and you open up your tablet or whatever, and if you want to have a bigger screen, you'll just unfold it and stick it on a wall at the coffee shop or something like that. So that's where we're going with this technology. It's absolutely amazing.
It really is.
So did they come out with I didn't see theirs. Did they have a price point as well for this?
Nope, it's only just in the very early concept phase. Okay. It's all prototyping right now.
Very, very interesting. So, of course, there's so much more to talk about. We're just going to have another show, obviously. So we'll just do it again a little bit more next week. I still have autonomous vehicles, which is amazing what's going on in that realm.
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality. We saw so much in the virtual reality realm. So with that, Katie, appreciate it. Brian, thanks for joining us on Blab. Jim, it's a pleasure as
always.
See everybody else. Happy New Year, and we'll see you all next week.